Hello everybody, my name is Ryan or MandRproductions and welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 7655 Clone Battle Pack. This is one of the first two battle packs to ever be released. It was released alongside the Droid Battle Pack in January of 2007, so that's how battle packs got started. It included the standard 4 minifigures and a couple of mini builds to go alongside them because LEGO decided that they basically couldn't sell minifigures individually anymore, and this was kind of their workaround for that so that people could build up their clone armies, droid armies, or whatever it may be for future releases, and at this time it was a awesome clone army battle pack. A little bit more of the basic information of this set. It included 58 pieces, and at the time you could get it for only $10 US, so this was before the times of the $11, $12, $13, and now $15 battle packs, because over the last 10 years or so since battle packs have been around, the price has gone up incrementally a little bit at a time, and now we're at $15 for battle packs. Back in 2007 this was only $9.99. I think adjusted for inflation, that's about $12.50, about $13 today, so it's a pretty fair deal even back in the day. I really do like this set, so let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigs included. So the first figure we do get two of these. It's the regular Episode 3 Clone Trooper. This is the 2005 version, of course still around in 2007, and would not be seen again really until 2009 when LEGO gave it a slight update, and then again in 2014 when LEGO completely overhauled its design. So this is really one of the last times that we saw a bunch of these in a set, which was really nice to get them in such a cheap set. For just $10, you're able to get two of them, which is great, and they both have the black head underneath. So you'll find nothing really special there. The torso, of course, had been around for years with the Episode 2 Clone Trooper as well, I believe, so nothing really super special there as I dropped the helmet, but it also did include or introduce this newer blaster from LEGO. It was replacing the old-style Megaphone blaster at the time, so this was something very coveted at the time. It was great to get three of these weapons in the set. Next up, we have the 327th Star Corps Trooper, and this figure is very similar to the other figure. It just has some yellow markings on it, and then like an extra little bandolier and black marking above that, so it's very similar in the base design, except it has a little bit extra on top of that. So I love the yellow markings. I wish they had done a 501st Trooper in this design. They just never really did that, unfortunately. You can see even around back, and I do apologize, there might be a little bit of red Sharpie residue on some of these because I put in some red Sharpie minifigures inside of a big box with all these figures, and it kind of rubbed off. But this is a great figure in that sense that it just kind of is a nice updated or upgraded version of a regular Clone Trooper. I like that they didn't really change the design all that much, and they just kind of added a few yellow markings. It includes binoculars and then another regular blaster. Lastly, we have the Shock Trooper, who is very good looking. Again, it's the same base design as the other Clone Troopers, just with a bunch of extra printing on top, and it looks incredible, to be quite honest. He did include the extra long rifle, so this is a little bit longer than the other two rifles we had just seen, except it does go on top of the turret, so he doesn't really carry it, but it is included in the set with him, so that's very nice. Around back, again, it's the same design as the regular Troopers, just with that extra bit of printing, which is very nice of LEGO. Underneath, of course, you'll find that black face, because it's needed to show that black design on the cutout of the front of the minifigure. So a very nice Shock Trooper in this set. Now that we've seen all the minifigs, let's go ahead and take a look at our clone speeder here. It's a very nice build. I very much did enjoy the build process for this. It's a very simple build, but it's still a very nice looking one. It looks great in numbers. It's a great army builder. I love it. There are a couple things to be noted. The first thing is underneath the build, there are a couple of these pieces here, which basically allow it to be lifted off the ground. That's the basic point of those, I think. And then you have another one at the front here, which is basically resembling a couple of blasters at the front. You do have a couple of the old style LEGO blasters here on the sides as well, so you get those in the set. Even though this set does introduce the newer blasters, they still include the old ones, which was pretty cool. A couple of handlebars for your minifigure that would be piloting it, and there's room for two figures on the speeder bike. So let's go ahead and sit in a couple of figures. We can sit in our clone commander figure here, the yellow marked clone trooper. And he's going to sit in there nicely. You can, of course, take his weapon and binoculars away from him if you want him to hold on to the handlebars, although that's a little bit difficult to do, so usually if I'm playing around with this, I just kind of leave him like that. And then you can put a regular clone trooper on the back here. So that's how I usually orient this thing. That's the two figures I like to put on there. They work pretty well. They fit in there pretty nicely, just back to back like that. just enough room for the two of them. Of course, you can't have them really use the backrest there. It's more of a separator, but yeah, you have this little gun in the back as well, which you can pull out if you want it to just be in the trooper's hand or give it to the trooper otherwise, but you can otherwise have it in there, and it can spin around about 365 degrees. You just have to clip it by the clone's head there, but it does work. The engines on the side are very nicely detailed. They're kind of like a V8 engine that you would see in a car, I think. That's kind of the piece that they were able to use. You can see the back view, it's kind of blank, and you get another third engine piece on the front here. So that's the speeder bike. No features on this set other than being able to spin the blaster on the back and put the minifigures in. There's no flick fire missiles or anything crazy like that we would see nowadays, but it's a simple speeder, and I really do like it for that. The next little build included in this set is this very small turret. It's made out of like 10 to 15 pieces at most. It's a very small and simple build, and it's very easy to build, obviously. So I do like it. I might be nostalgia, but it's one of my favorite LEGO Star Wars turrets ever. It has these nice red accent marks, much like we saw on the speeder bike, so it does kind of color match that, although it has a lot more white than the speeder bike. I feel like the speeder bike used more light gray, but they still work well together. I feel like they all have kind of the same general color scheme. And then we can plop the shock trooper on there on the back two studs, which is the way I like to do it. I just like the shock trooper on there for some reason. And then on top you have the long barrel rifle, which is the one that the shock trooper can use. You can of course pull it out of the cone here if you want it separate, and you can put it on the shock trooper of course, but usually I like to leave it in here, and then you can just kind of turn it a little bit left and right, although it does tend to fall off for some reason, but if you push down on it, it'll turn just fine, I guess. But usually I just like leaving it straight on, and just like that, and that's the way I would display it personally. And it's really hard to play with because it's not very well in there. Like it's just kind of a tough set in that respect, but other than that, it's a nice little turret. I just like it for display. I think it looks really nice, and I like the color scheme on it, and the shock trooper works well in there. Of course, you can have him stand off to the side. You can have more troopers on here if you really want to, but usually just one will do the trick. You don't really want to fill it up too much because then it looks a little bit crazy, but you can get 3 on there if you really want to, which I think is kind of cool. My final thoughts on this set are that it's definitely one of the best LEGO Star Wars battle packs ever. As of the recording of this video, this set has been out for about 11 years, and it still holds up today. I think for $10 back in 2007, it was an amazing deal, and if LEGO were to straight up re-release it today for $15, I'm sure I'd still buy a few. You get 2 regular clone troopers, which is awesome, and then you get a couple of off clone troopers in different markings with the shock trooper and then the 327th Corps trooper, so a couple of nice inclusions there as well that make this set really worth it. The speeder and the turret, of course, have the same color scheme, which go well together, and I really love this set. It's an awesome battle pack, and definitely one you should consider picking up if you don't own one, just for the sake of owning one of the original LEGO Star Wars battle packs. If you did enjoy this review of the LEGO Star Wars Clone Battle Pack, of course, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and if you have anything to say about this set, or if you have any questions for me about this set, leave in the comment section down below. Check out the other LEGO videos I have on my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.